Hi there. Welcome back to the Curious Cat Kitchen. And I am Kat. A little bit different coming today in my new glasses, so I decided to wear it on. But I am also cooking for our guests tonight. So I'm making this episode a tribute to Jamaica. um, just felt like it. He's Jamaican. I think he would like this. I'm making ackee and saltfish. Um, so I know it's usually a breakfast dish, but I don't know. I saw something and I was like, "Ooh, I wanted it." So I wanted to make it. So I'm gonna make, like I said, ackee and saltfish. The saltfish is gonna be made with hearts of palm. So the hearts of palm is going to have to be marinated in a salt and kelp brine to get that saltiness. So that is sea salt and some dried sea kelp. I have the water boiling to put some boiling water in there to mix the dissolve the salt. And then I'm just going to cut up these hearts of palm pieces to resemble pieces of fish. And once that's all cut up, we're going to put it into our brine. We're just going to pour some hot water and then I dissolve the salt and then I'll put a little bit more, some more cold water in there or some cold water in there and then some more hot water. You want to put that all in the brine, let it sit for a few hours at least. And first, I'm going to just, I bought some bammy. I had some cravings. So I wasn't going to make it. Never made it before and all that squeezing. So I bought it and I'm just gonna cut it in four and soak it. Ugh. Have it soaked. I think I need to change knives. In some coconut milk that I kind of seasoned up. Well, not kinda. I did season up. um, so I'm just cutting them in quarters, putting them on a plate. So today I am, like I said, cooking for a friend. Um, that so I had, funny enough, I was watching his IG, an IG live where he was doing an interview, uh, like a IG live talking to someone, a podcast, and it gave me this idea that I wanted to do because I've always kind of wanted to do something where not a podcast. I don't know why I'm trying to call it something else, a podcast of talking to different people and having them share, uh, what they do and why they do it. Um, and I love watching podcasts because it's a great way to get information. But I also find that, like, you know, um, obviously it's only the big name experts people that that they have on podcasts, which is fine. I enjoy listening and learning from experts, but I also think that us as regular folks, everyday people, that is going through the journey and at different points of our journeys, I think we all have something to share. Um, just about ourselves and what we our passion and how our passion can impact or affect other people. um so I believe that, you know I wanted to just talk to regular entrepreneurs that are daily entrepreneurs that have not made it big, but is still continuing their what they love to do, their passion. I'm just adding some of my cashew milk and some more water. Ooh, because this that wasn't enough coconut milk, and I kind of knew that. Um, so for my other company, um, I do infused events. It's called Woke and Toke, and it's infused events that that focuses on connection. I do different activities, connection games, and just, a safe environment for people to come and meet other people, because I think it is needed. Because there's a lot of lonely people out there, a lot of people that have, gone through like a lot of divorces, because there's a change in the world, right? In the energy of the universe, things are shifting. But in that, a lot of things are shifting, big shifts in our lives. So, and with those shifts, a lot of long term, like marriages or long term relationships are ending. Just so people, and then as we get older, people pass away, sickness, all kinds of stuff, right? Life. And two, okay, I don't know why I'm playing around with this. I'm gonna let it. I think because I put it in the bowl and it's not very even. Anyways, so yeah, it's I do events that and I do them for non-infused as well. Not non-infused people are welcome as well, if they care to join and want to meet other people. I just think that there's a lot of people that are okay. So before I continue talking about what I'm talking about, so ingredients that I have: onions, scotch bonnet pepper or habanero pepper in South Florida. I have the hearts of palm sitting in brine. And then I have tomatoes, thyme, and of course the ackee. Oh, and I forgot green pepper. So, green pepper. I would use red peppers, but I only have green pepper. So, we're going with that. So I'm gonna chop up the onions, the peppers, the pepper, and the tomatoes. Got a lot of new things going on today. We got new lighting because we fell back, so it gets darker even earlier now. So I had to figure out and play with lighting and camera position and all that fun stuff. Anyways, so yeah, I have new lighting. I don't know if it's gonna work, but let's see. It looks good. I can see it's not dark. So chopping up the onions. So yeah, with the events, like I said, I curate it for connection, for people to meet, because I do believe that people are wanting it, and not knowing where to get it. Because yes, there's a lot more networking events, and there's a lot more of, even like things that what I've been doing is strangers coming together to eat under same interests with conversation cards. Literally, I came up with that before all these other apps are out here doing it. But, these apps probably have a lot more, what's the word? Not income, but money to be able to do it. So anyhow, I do those events, and at those events, I created, from those events, I should say, I created conversation cards. They're called tote talks. If you're a smoker, you would understand. If you're a smoker, you would understand what that means. But it's called tote talks, and they're conversation cards, and they're cards that I do use at my events. But, I've had them. And so with those conversations card, like I said, I had them made. I have them to sell, but I have not yet marketed it. I just use them at my events and, let people know. I just marketed them, jeez, at my events, and not anywhere else. So I do need to market them. But I figured that a great way, because I do want to have conversations. I want to have, be able to have deeper conversations, get into, I'm curious cat, hear about people's opinions, perspectives, but also, what they've learned on their journeys that they can share. Because I think, once again, everybody has something to share, because everybody has a story. So, yeah, I decided to start incorporating the conversations, not just me talking to you about what's on my mind, because that is, a little difficult. I mean, I'm getting better, I think, to be able to talk and cook and tell you about what I'm making, while cooking. So I decided that, instead of, I will incorporate episodes of those conversations that I have with the people in my life, and not just because they're in my life. Anybody is welcome as long as they're open to share. But people that, because they are my first guests, people that I know in my lives, that I think have or want to come on and share and are willing to be open and vulnerable and have real conversations, on a video, then, it would be for those people, So let me know if anybody wants to have a conversation with me. But tonight is my first one, because it was him actually that I was watching, like I said, his IG live, that gave me this idea. I don't know why. I mean, obviously I've done lives before. To promote my events, but um, yeah, it sparked an idea. So here I am doing it. So, I decided to film the dinner, and film what I'm making, and then film the conversations with the conversation cards. So, yes. And then, like I said, everything just kind of, I was trying to decide what to make, looking at my pantry to see what I have and such, like how I usually create. But I had a craving, like I said earlier, for Ackee and saltfish. I think because it was one of the reels about Jamaica. Cut this vein off. And it was showing Ackee and saltfish with festivals. My favorite thing, that I was like, oh, I want that. So we're making it. And I'm curious to see if he's had it vegan before as well. So that is a little background story, of who he is. I don't actually fully. He's a life coach. He's a personal trainer. He's a instructor. He's many things. TED Talk speaker. But I met him at my gym because he was one of the instructors. So I took his classes and I would see him when I go training, obviously. So I didn't know him. And then recently I saw him at the gym that I go to now, not the one, because he had left that one for a while anyways. So I saw him and we recognized each other. I was like, hey, but still didn't really talk. I don't really talk to people when I'm at the gym. I'm a little bit antisocial when I'm at the gym because I'm focused. Like I just want to get my reps done and go home. So didn't really talk, but then I went up to him one day for whatever reason I felt to, and I was like, I told him about my Friday menus, and turns out that he is vegan. I was like, oh, and he wasn't always vegan. And then we followed each other, and he shares a lot on his page about what he does, the community that he's building, and so it's a lot of similarities and things that I like as far as community and growth. And so we started talking. But on this live, I learned a little bit more about him, and I thought it would be interesting to talk to him more. And so yeah, there we are. We're gonna talk more and film it. But yeah, and man, this was a tough week. There was a lot of energy happening, shifting, a lot of things happening, a lot of people anxious and worried, and um, you know, dealing with a lot of stuff. Jamaica, as we all know, um, half the country basically is homeless due to Melissa, and it is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking to see. And I know people out in the West, obviously in Mobay and in Westmoreland. um, I don't know anybody in St. Elizabeth, um, but regardless of whether you know people or not, like just seeing those images, it is absolutely heartbreaking. um, so it was a heavy week, and then obviously we have our own BS to deal with here in the US. um, so yeah, here we are. um, okay, so we've cut up the onions. I shouldn't have used a whole onion. I'll probably just save the rest. And green peppers, I shouldn't have cut the whole green pepper either. And then I have one tomato, which I might want a little bit more of. I'm gonna heat up my pan here because I also have to fry the bammy. It was I was feeling I was low um towards the end of the week, but you know, I actually was able to shift my energy, and doing better, able to not let that get to me, because God knows if we were to let everything that is out there, like, affect us, and I think a lot of people are. So there was one thing I forgot to cut up, and that is the scotchy scotch bonnet pepper. Yes, so a lot of people do let it affect them, and that's why mental health is such an issue nowadays. But I will say that in the midst of all of this, what I did see that was so inspiring and made me realize, like, this tiny little island, Jamaica, that is known all over the world, means so much to so many people. The way you see everybody from all over the world come together, band together to help them, and to see the resilient of the people. Like, these people have nothing and they are still trying to help others. Still, that's true community. When they have none, they're still thinking about others, and that is beautiful to see. And I think that is the beauty that comes out of all of this, to see this tiny little island have so much impact on the rest of the world because of its culture, because of its music, because of its people. Like, everybody's been to Jamaica. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people have been to Jamaica, and love it, because there is something about Jamaica. There's an energy about it there that is absolutely beautiful. And don't get me wrong, it has its issues and it has its crimes, but the heart of it is absolutely beautiful. And that's why there's so many people banding together to help. Okay, so I have a new camera view. I apologize. I was having some serious difficulty there with the lighting to see. So, hey. So I already started. I wanted to switch the camera over here. So you can see the cooking. You know what? I'm gonna put it. No. The bammy is already going. I had to put that in. My pans were getting too hot, and then I had to put the stuff in, but then I wanted to record and wanted to do the right lighting. But we got it. So the onions are in. I am gonna the green peppers. I don't know why I'm so indecisive as to how much to put in. I'll cook that a bit, and then I'll add the tomatoes and the peppers, and also I'm gonna have to strain the saltfish, or the hearts of palm. So I have that going. I'm gonna add the tomatoes. Oh shoot, almost forgot about the bammy. That's a big piece. Just a little bit of the peppers in first. Let that cook down. A friend of mine from Jamaica, who's a chef, when he made Ackee and saltfish, he always said he put a little bit of curry powder. He liked to put a little bit of curry powder in. So that's what I'm doing. I've always kind of done that, I think, since he told me. Oh shoot, that's what I forgot. Thyme. Thyme. That should have been the first thing I put in with the onions. So I got some fresh thyme here. I'm gonna drop the whole thing in. And I need paper towels. See, too much happening to film. It is really challenging, especially when you're a one-person team, to cook and film at the same time and try to talk. But it can be done. So what I should explain is what bammy is, for those of you that don't know. Bammy is made out of grated cassava. So they grate the cassava, squeeze out the liquid, soak it in water, and then squeeze out the liquid, and squeeze out as much liquid as possible. And then the pulp that is left, you shape it into these discs or cakes, whatever you want to call them, and then they're baked. So that is making it from scratch. The ones I got are from the store where they're already baked, and that's why you would rehydrate them in coconut milk and salt, and then fry them. They're traditionally usually eaten with escovitch fish, ackee and saltfish, more with breakfast. I think you can use more of the pepper. Use salt, a little bit more pepper. I'm gonna add the hearts of palms in. And also I will have to say this, I should not be saying how hard it is to do it, because our words are powerful. It is not hard. It's just challenging. And you guys don't want to hear about the difficulties. You just want to know the recipes. You just want to see the recipes. So this is before the ackee. I'm gonna taste it again. I think we definitely need more pepper, because this pepper is not spicy. Okay, I had to add the whole pepper in, as well as the seeds, because this pepper had no flavor. So I just put the ackee in. To be honest, I cooked down the tomatoes and all the other stuff a lot longer than I wanted to. And then once you put the ackee in, you really just want to leave it, maybe just season it, because you don't want, you want to keep the ackee actually, full. In bigger pieces, rather than otherwise they'd be like scrambled eggs. This is done, and then the bammies are done. So when I plate, I will show you how it's all finished. So in the midst of getting everything ready, plating and setting everything up, I completely forgot to take a video of it, how it looked, but here it is, where we're setting up in the plate. I served it with a kale salad that was lemon juice and olive oil with some pumpkin seeds, and then the bammy with the vegan ackee and saltfish. So make sure you check out the first episode of the series Conversation with Kat, with my first guest Blaze, while he lets you know what he thinks of the ackee and saltfish, and hear a little bit of our conversation with our conversation cards. Till next time, stay curious.